what we must be very mindful of is Omar Marmoush has had, when it comes to outstanding performance, has been half a season of outstanding performance. And so I really think that Omar Marmoush will be a useful player for Manchester City because of what I have seen in Bundesliga. But he has to maintain that level of play. And given the fact that he's willing to run beyond defenders and to run in behind is something that not many of the Manchester City players tend to do and have had that sort of impact on the field. And so if Erling Haaland is showing for the ball, Marmoush can run in behind. It gives them a different outlook. It gives them an outlet running past defenders, not keeping everything in front of defenders. So if he's able to do that, then yes, I really think that he can play alongside Erling Haaland. But in order for that to happen, and this is the biggest stumbling block, if you will, in order for that to happen, Pep Guardiola has to change how this team plays. And that, I think, that's when everything comes to a screeching halt.
Obviously, Pep Guardiola having to do something there. But with this signing, Omar Marmoush, is this going to be enough to get Manchester City back into those Champions League spots?
Yeah, I think that in the form of Kevin De Bruyne over the last couple of games and Phil Foden as well. And he's all he's been asking for, Pep, is he's injured players back. And I think once he has those players back, they are capable of getting back into the top four because the race is on. I don't think they're going to catch Liverpool or Arsenal, so they can certainly chase down the teams above them, like Chelsea, Newcastle and Forest. There's no reason why not. I thought they'd beat Brentford the other day when they were 2-0 up. They were about 10 minutes to go, so it shows that they're still vulnerable at the back, so I expect more reinforcements. But going back to the Erling Haaland signature of 10 years, it's a great talking point from Pep and the CEO of Man City when they're signing new players to say, listen, Erling Haaland's staying on for 10 years, Pep's staying on for the next 2 years. We're going to push on. We're going to sign 3 or 4 players this January. And then come the summer, it's going to be a proper rebuild. Because the team that you're looking at there is a very, very, well, it's a good team, but there's a lot of growth for Savinho. Maybe the likes of Bernardo Silva moves on. He's been hinting at a move for a couple of years now. But I think the signings that come in, and even if Zubimendi came in, who's been linked with Arsenal, I think that's the type of signing that Man City needs, someone to push the likes of Rodri. But even when Rodri's back, to play alongside him, that's the standard and the calibre that Man City needs. So I think it's going to be a very interesting watch this January, watching Marmoush come in, who I think will hit the ground running because, as Ali said, he's a guy that doesn't mind running in behind. He's very talented. He scores different types of goals, whether it's from free kicks or he's assisting or he's goal scoring. He's very, very good. He'll get better under Guardiola as well. But I think the summer is when the interesting part will look in terms of their rebuild. It's going to be fascinating to see which other players they go for.
As far as the Marmoush signing goes, and there's a couple of angles to this. You feel he's going to play the same role that Julian Alvarez did. And while I shouldn't be sitting here talking about a World Cup winner as a bit-part player, but let's be honest, Julian Alvarez pretty much was for Manchester City. It gave Pep that option. And you fully sympathise with Julian Alvarez wanting to move on, wanting to be the main man somewhere else. He found that at Madrid. But then you see City's struggles this season. And you just wonder, well, while one signing, be it Julian Alvarez or Marmoush on their own, isn't the marquee player thing that all of a sudden turns the season around, but it gives Pep that option. That option when things aren't going well, when you need a late goal, when you just need to have the opponent guessing, to have them at your disposal, to play that 2 up front, whatever it may be. And you just wonder if that would have made more of a difference to City this season, given their struggles. And I know their struggles are about a whole lot more than Julian Alvarez or Marmoush may be. And to Ali's point about Marmoush, he's 25 years old. And while, yes, he's had six good months, you strike while the iron's hot. And a club like City come calling, you answer. You answer on the back of that, and you figure out your role is. The one thing, especially with Pep Guardiola in place, players go in there thinking is, whatever role I play, I'll be a better player at the end of it. So whatever that Manchester City career looks like for Marmoush, when he's done, when they're ready to move him on, whatever it is, he's going to be better than when he first arrived.
Just before we do wrap up the City chat with Rob, did you want to say something there, Frank?
No, I just say that for me, the emergency for Manchester City is not about that. It's a good thing to sign Marmoush. I think we can trust that if Guardiola wants to buy a player like Marmoush, it's because he really thinks that it's going to be useful and that even if he had only 6 good months, he's going to be good and he's going to improve and he's going to be useful. But really, the emergency is not there. Guardiola has been struggling because he can't get the ball back as soon as they lost it. And it's not a guy like Marmoush who's going to change anything. So they have an emergency in the middle of the park to find something to substitute Rodri and to make the midfielders the middle of the park, stronger.
So obviously that's the problems on the pitch. Off the pitch, as mentioned earlier in the segment, that shadow behind Manchester City right now, Rob, are those 115 charges. When are we going to hear a decision on these?
Well, really, nobody knows with any certainty. I mean, we're led to believe that we're going to hear some kind of verdict around March. But it may be that we hear a verdict and then we have to wait for what kind of punishment City get if they are found guilty. This whole hearing has been done behind closed doors with no public, no press. It's all been very secretive. So anyone that tells you that they've got a firm timeline of how these events are going to unfold is just speculating, really. The only people that know are the people holding the investigation and also the lawyers on the Premier League side and also City side. There was a hope that this would all be wrapped up by the end of the season, but it does feel like it's going to drag on a little bit longer now. And I think really, even from both sides, you listen to sources on both sides, and really they just want this to all come to a close. It's been dragging on for so long now. We're in a situation where people just want to find out what's going on, what the verdict is, and what kind of punishment City might get handed.